What up? Welcome to another episode of the Rip City Pod. I am Eric Anderson, and I'm joined today by the one and only D-Business, Dan Bay. He's here.
What up?
Not much, man. We gotta get into it. We're gonna rock right into some Blazers news. So we'll jump into our news segment really quick. Since we last spoke, Blazers had a road trip. 5-game road trip. They went 1-4. Pretty bad. We'll do a little bit more analysis of that. On that road trip, we saw some things like Drew Holiday not playing in a game for the first time this season. That was pretty rough. You saw Yang Hansen get assigned to the G League and play some G League, which let's just tap into that really quick because that's probably doesn't deserve a ton of time, but it is an interesting news item. So Yang played 2 G League games over the weekend and had a mixed bag. His first game was like a little quiet as far as scoring goes. He went 4 for 11 and had 8 points, 13 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. So overall, production pretty good. But I think what you really want to see in G League is scoring. It's kind of like a summer league style of play, at least from what I've seen. I watched a little bit of his highlights. I didn't watch the full games, but I went back and just tried to see like how he's moving, how he's responding. If he looks out of sort at all, and he looked fine, but you want to see him really be like the central engine of a G League team. So that first game, not so much. Second game, he did play pretty well, but he also, I don't want to say his defense was too bad. So statistically, second game, I think it was on Sunday, he had 21 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 3 blocks. Like that's. If you had that in fantasy,
that's
you'd
solid.
be psyched about that. Yeah,
totally.
Yeah, you'd be.
And he looks
really
imposing too. I mean, that's kind of what stuck out to me is that he looks, it looks like an Olympic game a little bit, where a team from another country just has this giant. But yeah, you're right. The defense wasn't quite there for his size. He got swatted a couple times too. I think by somebody that was like 6 inches shorter than him, which isn't a great look.
Yeah. Well, there was a couple different things that happened in that second game. So he's matched up a lot against Drew Timme, Gonzaga's favorite Drew Timme, and
handlebar.
It's noteworthy because we're in the Pacific Northwest or close enough Mountain West, and we watched a lot of Timme. He was just on TV all the time, and Gonzaga has a big following out here. But Drew Timme's a kind of a guy trying to hold on and make waves in the G League, and Yang is supposed to be this like prized asset, who's obviously an incomplete player at this point. But Drew Timme outplayed Yang enough that Drew Timme won Player of the Week. So you're like,
jeez, oh, that's not good.
That's not great. Like you look at the stats and you go, okay, 21's good, 9 rebounds is good, this is all good, but you also go like, okay, but Timme outplayed you. I don't love that. I didn't love seeing the highlights and seeing Timme doing things. And I'm not trying to crap on Timme. I do like Timme, but we haven't seen Yang in like a week and a half or close to 2 weeks, and then you kind of see these little glimpses, and you're like, oh, okay, it's kind of coming along, but not there yet for sure.
I think it's good for him to have that experience against somebody like Timme, who's super crafty, though. I mean, he played at the highest level in college for 4 seasons and learned a lot of tricks, and it's good for Yang to get experience against that kind of caliber of athlete, because he's trying to prove himself, and he's going to pull out everything he can out of his bag of tricks to get in your head and make a name for himself too. So it's 2 games. I would say don't panic, right?
No, it's not panic mode. The stats are still good, and it is the G League again. It's like it doesn't look like there's much semblance. I'm not trying to say the G League coaching isn't elite or anything, but it didn't look like there's a whole semblance of offense out there. It was just kind of like kicking the ball around and maybe one screen and go kind of stuff, which is not so different than how the Blazers are playing, to be honest. They play a very free-flowing style of offense too, but it looked closer to Summer League than it did NBA.
Yeah. And to that point of kind of the free-flowing offense too, I think, because I just watched the the highlights from the South Bay Laker game, and it seemed like there was a couple really nice outlet, kind of a couple passes where you're like, oh no, and then he completed the pass and it was okay, but I think it could be really fun if he can get a rebound and just kind of send four deep and let him, if he can get really good with those outlet passes and keep that kind of reverse, or I guess what's it called in soccer, where you basically just once you get the ball, you just charge. Field. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, that would play into the he's the next Jokic. We see Jokic do that every time Jokic has the ball on a rebound. He's either bringing the ball up or he's just gunning it ahead. He's really good at that.
Right.
So I think he'll have chances to do that, but we'll see. Let's see other news items. Maybe another non-news item. No Scoot Henderson update. I was kind of thinking today / this week would be a good time to pencil in as a good chance for him to get back to the court. Nothing today. So maybe next week. That's kind of getting late into the timeline, but yeah, there's nothing there. I didn't even check for Drew Holiday to see if he's going to play. I assume they were just keeping him out as a precautionary measure. I think he was just a little sore, so I don't think there's much more to an injury update there. I expect he will be playing against the Suns, but I don't know if that was for sure reported yet. But I think that's really
doubtful was last I saw.
Oh, doubtful. Okay, that is a little more disappointing than I would have realized.
Against the Suns,
Ooh, okay, so there's a little something going on there, but we'll touch on that now because the road trip was terrible. The Blazers went 1-4 on a road trip. Their one win was against a really bad team, and they lost to another bad team. I don't know if we can call the Mavericks really bad, but they're not good. That's for sure. It's tough. So just the quick results. Lost to the Heat. The game started off pretty hot. Blazers were playing pretty well and looked like they were going to control it, and then all of a sudden the Heat just kind of gunned it. I don't know what happened exactly, but the Heat were much better. Their offense played much better.
In the fourth quarter, though, really, because the Blazers were, pretty much had control through 3 quarters, it seemed like.
It seemed like one of those games you could almost turn off, where you're like, oh yeah, they got this. This is looking good, and then no disappointment. The Magic game was kind of comical as well because it felt like they should have lost that one the entire way, and then they had multiple opportunities late in the game to win it. They had Paolo Banchero miss free throws. It kind of felt like, oh wow, they're gonna win because Paolo can't hit free throws. This is crazy. And then no, it's a desperation. It's a Drew Holiday turnover leading into a desperation Desmond Bane 3. That's like an insane shot. He's not had a good shooting season, and he hits this 3 to beat the Blazers. Personally, watching it, I thought, I can't even be mad because I think the Blazers probably should have lost this game 5 minutes ago, and somehow they were in it, and then they still lost, and I was like, I don't know, I guess the emotional whirlwind was too much for me to even have a...
Isn't that kind of how this whole season has been, though? All these games are close. I feel like it's very just... Yeah, it's high drama.
Yeah, it was absurd. Pelicans win. And it's a Pelicans win. It's a Pelicans win. I don't know. You got any notes on Pelicans win?
Nope. It's a Pelicans win. That's the perfect way to summarize it. Yeah.
Played the Rockets in the NBA Cup. Got absolutely throttled. That's the first time that's happened this season where the Blazers just looked like a JV-ish team or kind of like shades of yesteryear Blazers where they're just not competitive at maybe any stage in the game. The defense wasn't good enough, and the Rockets executed at such a high level, and so many different people were so disruptive to the Blazers that it really made you go oh, right, that's why people are considering the Rockets a favorite in the West or one of the top 4 teams in the West, and that's why people were considering the Blazers to be a sub-500 team. A game like that made you really step back and go, oh, that might still be a reality. And maybe it's just one wake-up check. It was the 4th game of a 5-game road trip, so, the Blazers had traveled thousands of miles at that point. And the Rockets are really good. They haven't seen a team quite like the Rockets except for maybe the Nuggets, Yep. Obviously the Thunder, but the Thunder were...
Yeah, they were messing around. 140 is nothing to scoff at. That's, especially for a team where, you're looking for your defense to carry you. It's interesting that they hadn't lost a game all season by any more than 8 points until the Houston game. And that included, the Nuggets the Thunder, the Lakers, Warriors. A couple of those were wins, but it's pretty remarkable to not, they're not blown out. They're not getting blown out like they were in Houston.
Yeah, yeah. Every game had been competitive, and you could probably have turned any of the Blazers games on in the fourth quarter and seen a good game, except that Rockets game. That's the first time I'd say that's happened. Now, you've seen some really weird basketball if you turn those games on in the fourth quarter. I can't say you've always seen the best brand of basketball. You've seen, like, the Magic game was crazy. The Mavericks game, also crazy in the fourth quarter. Not, like, super high-level basketball, but chances to win. Unfortunately, I don't know if you watched it, but Deni Advia's step-back three is, like, horrific in my mind. And even Lamar Hurd, who's like, he's objective, but he can, when he tries to be critical, it comes across as so funny because he's just like, now I think you'll ask Denny eventually, and he'll say that maybe wasn't the best shot, and you're like, yeah, just say it was a bad shot, man. We all watched it. We all watched him dribble the ball for 10 seconds, do nothing with it, and then chuck a airball three. Like, that's...
Yeah.
I get that he's having a good game, and he's confident, and you love that. So as a coach, you love that. But to take that shot and to not even, like, make a move is so... It's just so out of character for him. That's not his shot. That's not his game at all. It's not what he had done the majority of that game. And so for the game to... It wasn't decided on that play, but it was just such a deflating moment that... I don't know. I really didn't even want to watch overtime after that. I was like, what?
Yeah.
What is this?
Do you feel
obviously the Blazers didn't really want to play overtime after that either.
Yeah, no kidding. Do you feel like that he's been asked to do so much offensively that it's starting to, I'm not going to say go to his head, but that he's maybe taking those kind of risks for that reason?
I don't know. I think he hasn't been in that situation very much at all. I think you could honestly make an argument that that's the first time ever. Like, with the Blazers being at a critical juncture where they're kind of like a 500 team and they're trying to be a good team, I don't think he's ever been in that situation as a Blazer. I think he's probably had a few opportunities when he's played for Israel internationally where he's like had to do something. He's had to be the guy in a big moment, but I don't know. I don't think it was like a mental thing. I think it was just like he wasn't used to the moment and he didn't really do anything with it. But it's just so far out of character because he's this guy that draws quite a few free throws. He's so physical and he's so imposing when he attacks, and he didn't even attack. And maybe he's tired. Again, that's the fifth game of a 5-game road trip. There might not be much left in the tank, but it was just, it was pretty gross. So I don't know. Do you have any other notes on that one?
Not really. One thing I was going to say about the Rockets game, too, was just the turnover differential. I think, let's see, Blazers had 20 turnovers and the Rockets had 6. And it seems like, in these games where they're closer, they're winning, against the Thunder, they won the turnover battle. Against the Nuggets, they won the turnover battle. And that's back to the point of just kind of feeling like they're forcing things a little bit. It just was really apparent that those turnovers, that being a negative 14 in the turnover differential is going to kill you every time.
Yeah, seeing a super strong defensive team like the Rockets that has a ton of length finally bothering your secondary playmakers. Like I think Drew had a couple turnovers that game, but he didn't have like a ton. But I think like Denny maybe had 4 or 5, or maybe it was even higher than that. And like Tumani had a pretty tough one, and so those kind of secondary creators / they're not really even like handlers or creators, but they kind of have to do that sometimes based on how the offense unravels. Like a good team like the Rockets will do that all the time, and then not having Drew versus the Mavericks led to a version of the Blazers, which again looked like last year's Blazers. Like that, it's crazy how important he is just to organize stuff and make the ball move and make good decisions and keep things flowing, because it doesn't seem like high level stuff, but he can make so many passes and he can create so much attention that when he's not out there, you kind of just see these like your turn, my turn, isolation plays where it's like, okay, well, Jeremy's really going to have to create something out of nothing, or Shaden's going to try a step back, or Denny's going to try a step back. And
Yeah.
it's rough to watch. It just looks like just a bad brand of offense. And I don't think it's that bad, but it's just clear that those other guys don't have the same passing chops as Drew does, and they can't connect to each other as well as Drew can. It doesn't mean they're not ever going to be able to do that, but it was just really evident in that Mavericks game, because that's not a Mavericks team that's playing well. It's not a Mavericks team that like had ratcheted their defense up all of a sudden and was just going to take you out of your offense. It's a Mavericks team missing pieces, and makes a headline every other day for something like, they're going to clean house. Who's getting traded next from the Mavericks? What's going to happen? Like, it's so much drama and so much conflict all the time with the Mavericks, and the Blazers couldn't beat that team. So that's not great.
No, literally the headline on ESPN was Mavericks is either Mavericks free fall continues or Mavericks slide, no end in sight. It's like, oh God, you can't lose to that team when they're the headline on ESPN.
No, that hurts. So I just want to do a couple overall trends from this road trip, because there's definitely some things that stick out. You highlighted a few numbers, and that was super helpful. But I think overall, like, the defense overall is just not at a level that is acceptable, right? Like, this was a team that's supposed to be a defensive team, and granted, that kind of doesn't really it ebbs and flows with also trying to be a running team, because if you're running, the tempo picks up, there's more possessions, the point totals go up. But all these games, they gave up just so many points, which I don't think is sustainable. So I think on this trip they averaged 129 points allowed per game, which is like pretty high. It's one of the worst marks in the league, I want to say. Let's see, I think I have it marked here. Where is it? Looking at my notes. It's certainly not good. I mean, we can at least say that. They also, at home, they were better at getting to the free throw line. On the road, they got there a little bit less often, which is probably just an NBA trend in general. I don't think that's a Blazers specific problem. I think that's just, you might get a more friendly whistle, or you're just a little more comfortable, so you attack more. That didn't totally jump out as super. I mean, if it continues, then it'll be a problem. But so far, that wasn't too bad. The turnovers you mentioned, that's can't really happen. I don't know if that's just like a playing in a foreign environment thing, or what. How you really explain an elevated amount of turnovers, but it did happen. So yeah, it just seems like the defense is really out of sync. And I don't know if that's just because there's so much focus on trying to play fast, play aggressive, that you can't really set your defense up correctly, or if they're just emphasizing offense right now. I don't know, but it was like kind of just like shootout games, which was not the narrative coming into the season. The season was, this is an elite defensive team. Look what we did last season, and then there's some semblances of that early. You're like, oh, okay, this Blazers team can do that. They can lock people down. They're going to be maybe not locked down, but they can be a detriment to another offense. They can at least slow stuff down, and they have pieces that can connect. But it was just kind of a crazy open season for opposing offenses.
Yeah, and I mean, they're still getting steals, but I think kind of to the point of fast break, the Blazers are second in the NBA in field goal attempts, which, I mean, if you're just maybe I'll retract what I was saying about let's counter attack every single time, because they have to be smart in possessions, and it seems like a lot of times, and it's still a young team, I guess, but a lot of times, like I said, was when you're forcing it like that, just trying to get field goal attempts up, you can dig yourself a hole pretty quickly. Yeah,
and you get into a weird rhythm and a weird flow. Like, I think the end of the Mavericks game was such a weird point of attack. Like, it just isolation ball, no movement, nothing really happening. It just seemed like really bad basketball. So I don't know if that's a thing that could be corrected in a game, if it gets corrected in a week, or if it's like a major sign of a problem that's to come still. But How about some nice news? How about some nice trend that we saw on the road trip?
Let's do fun stuff.
Denny's still really good. Denny's averages kind of went up on the road trip. He averaged 28.6 points per game, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 turnovers, and he still shot really efficient. He shot 52% from the field, 39, round up to 40% from the 3, and 89% from the foul line. Took 36 free throws over 5 games. So his free throw attempts went, we kind of mentioned that. They went down a little bit. He averages about 7, I want to say 7 per game. So he shot about 6-ish. Math, right? maybe my math's bad there. But it went down like an attempt. So he didn't quite get there as often as he was previously at home, or the majority of the games at home prior to that. But still, there's been this narrative, and I don't think we're gonna have enough time on this episode to go Denny deep dive. Maybe that'll be your deep dive. That's a little bit of a tease.
Wait, got an alliteration there.
But Denny is playing at a pretty high level, and I can say just in general, his free throw attempts are at it's not at an elite, the most elite level. Like think of like the Hardens and Embiid levels, but it's close to like an SGA. So he's kind of doing big boy things with drawing contact and getting to the line and then shooting at a super high clip. And that continued on the road. So that was really encouraging to see. Denny is not just a home one-trick pony. He's consistently producing and playing really efficient basketball. So that was awesome. Anything on Denny?
No, not too much. Yeah, field goal attempts over the last the last 5 games: 20, 15, 18, 18, and 21. I mean that's big volume, and like you said, shooting. I think you said 530 or 540, 54%. That's great. The one thing is just the plus minus sticks out to me. As you know, as much volume as he's getting offensively, ended up negative 11 against Dallas, negative 14 against Houston, negative 11 against Orlando. Plus minus, say what you will about it, but it's a pretty good indicator that that's maybe not as well rounded of a game as the offensive stats would lead you to believe. If that makes sense. Yeah.
Well, there's still something that needs to be fixed.
Right.
Good stats, bad team is definitely a real thing that happens in the NBA all the time. And if you just looked at that road trip, that would be the case. Denny put up great stats, and the Blazers were one of the worst defensive teams in the league in that same span. So hopefully you want to see that statistical trend continue while the Blazers figure out their defense and hopefully get some wins out of the deal as well. But kind of it's interesting that it happened. It's interesting that he played well, but you want to see some more results with that. The other thing that I kind of been calling for, I don't know, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, is to just see more Shaedon scoring to establish himself as the scorer, because I think he has more tools in his bag. I think I'd be happier seeing a Shaedon Sharp step back 3 to potentially win a game than I would to see a Denny Abia. And that's just eyeball tests. I haven't actually gone back and dug up all the stats to see if the stats would merit that, but that's how I feel. But we saw some good Shaedon scoring. So he had his season high against the Pelicans at 35. He scored, I think, 36 against the Mavericks, and did a lot of late game stuff with no Drew out there. And some of that was just like pure isolation stuff, So it's like, if you make the shot, it looks good. If you miss it, you look like a fool. But he did look like he was at least trying to assert himself a little bit more on that end. And you'd like, again, to see that same offense stay there. Well, the Blazers also play a better defense. And maybe it's not possible. Maybe that's too much for all those guys to do both, to play both sides of the ball at a high level. I don't know. But I don't have his usage rate. I'm assuming his usage rate ticked up. It seems like it would have to with no Drew Holiday out there. But it seemed like there was
definitely against Dallas. He put up 32 shots against Dallas. That was an overtime game, but that's a lot.
That's a lot of shots, for sure.
That's a lot of shots.
him and Denny were basically like the entire offense, at least half the offense. You know, they were
Right.
they were out there. So if you're going to be this elite scoring team, which like, you know, if you're playing all these high scoring games where your defense is giving up a bunch and you're still scoring to stay in it for the most part, except for the Rockets game, that's cool. But we just want to see we want to see if that can lead to a win eventually. So let's see. I don't think I have any other notes about the road trip in general, but let's see.
One thing.
Yeah, I think that's about it.
One thing about Shaden too is just that his field goal percentages are down. His 3-point percentage is down like 5% from 32 to 27, 32.5 to 27.5 this season. He's still one of the most exciting people when he drives to the basket, just to see what kind of acrobatics he's gonna, especially when he gets contact, what kind of acrobatics he's gonna perform. But that 3-point percentage is kind of scary when you're hovering around 27% as a shooting guard.
Yeah. Hopefully that's just, you know, a shooting variance thing and that corrects over time here. But yeah, it could definitely be an area of concern going forward. I would like to see more of those falling too. I would like to see more catch and shoot threes, so he's getting easier shots, but you know, we'll see. Let's see, I'm just going to quickly look at the upcoming road trip. Blazers are playing the Suns at home. That's on Peacock tonight, which is Tuesday. And then tomorrow
I can watch
back to back. And that might be the tomorrow they're playing your Bulls. Wednesday,
I know.
November 19th.
My Bulls. Yeah.
Your
Speaking
Bulls.
of my Bulls, did you catch any of the end of that Jazz game? Or see highlights from that at all?
No.
Oh man, they went to I think it was triple overtime, or no, it was double overtime against the Jazz, and it was just a really fun game to watch at the end. And there was a no call on Lauri Markkanen. It was Kobe White's first game back, and he hit a driving layup with 0.1 second left, and definitely it was a foul on Markkanen, no call, and they should have won right there, but they lost by 3. The Jazz. But anyway, not a Bulls podcast.
Not a Bulls podcast, but we do like NBA updates.
Yes. Hey, I wanted to throw a couple names at you, unless you have anything else, of just people who have stood out to me. Just kind of flipping around games and stuff like that. Jalen Johnson is a freak.
Hawks.
He is
Hawks Jalen Johnson.
Yeah, Hawks Jalen Johnson. Yes. The last 5 games, I was looking this up. I don't have his averages, but he had. Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to find this too.
Oh, I've seen a few stats pop up on social media. People have been like, "This is
he's averaging
insane."
a triple double. Yeah, I mean, and he's so efficient. Yeah, and he's so efficient. He's 7, 14, 8, 8, 4 assists, double-digit rebounds, and he's just kind of a do-everything player. He's a menace defensively. He's long. He can get out on guards. He's just somebody that's like really fun to watch. And
they're doing that all without Trae Young, right?
Exactly. And you know, he got hurt at the end of last season. It looked like it was going to, or I guess middle of last season. It looked like he was going to break out, and he continued that momentum into this season. So he's somebody that I would recommend just watch a quarter or two, because he's super fun. And then the other one is the Hornets' Musa Diabate. He's getting a bunch of run right now because of injuries, and has really taken some steps forward too. Kind of did at the end of last season, but he's another fun, big, tall, athletic, kind of stretch 4, I'd say maybe. He's a center technically, but another fun guy to watch. And of course, Josh Giddey.
Just a Giddey plug.
Just gotta love Josh Giddey. Yeah, gotta throw him in there.
I haven't watched him yet this season, so I'm intrigued to see how he looks, because I know exactly what he looked like last year and how his first couple years looked, and like, you know, he was kind of like a big bully point guard that could like spin his way into the rim and finish, and he grabbed a ton of rebounds, and his shot was always kind of weird. So is his shot just falling more now? What's happening?
I don't know. It just seems more comfortable second year in Chicago. They kind of, I think they're running more. I think his usage rate is up this year as well, and they're able to kind of bounce those little scoring guards, Io DeSumo and Kobe White, off of him and allow him a little more space. And his court vision is just outstanding. He's a true point guard, but he is big. He's 6'6", I think. So.
Yeah, he's a big boy. He uses his frame pretty well. There's a few guys in the NBA that are really, really good at it. He's one of them. I think Luka's really good at using every part of his body. LeBron obviously is like the classic.
Yeah, I'm looking for that from Klingon a little bit. Like, he's so big, but he'll show flashes of finesse around the rim and stuff. But I want him to just impose himself a little bit more.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still, the blocks are there and the rebounds are there. But yeah. He can get there.
Yeah, offensively, it's kind of a wild ride.
Yeah.
It looks like he knows that he should be taking up space and kind of like dropping his shoulder into somebody, but then he'll kind of like, rather than react to the defense or dictate what the defense is doing, he kind of just guesses like, oh, I'm going to drop step here, or I'm going to power dribble and try and go into him. And if it hits, like if the defender just happens to defend it the exact way Donovan's guessing, it looks okay. But there's been so many times where he like doesn't get the contact he's expecting, and then he's just in this kind of awkward, shuffling, weird shot attempt where you're like, huh.
Yeah.
So that might just be a pace thing. That might just be I don't know. It's not quite there yet. It's definitely not polished, but yeah, he's huge, and he's plays pretty well around the rim. So if he figures it out, that's going to be another, 4 points per game. Just instantly. He doesn't need more volume. If he converts those attempts, he's scoring more. So I would love to see that too.
The future's bright. Of who?
I said I'm a big fan of post play. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah. I guess the only other note is just it's fun to look at the standings and see that the Thunder have one loss this season, and we know who gave them that one loss.
Yeah, that's gotten some play on national podcasts. Like, the only loss the Thunder have is to the Blazers, and you go, God,
yeah,
that is funny. They were playing 0 players. They had 0 players available in that game. I mean, they are still a good team, but the Blazers barely beat a severely hindered Thunder team. Still counts.
Right. Listen, if they go 81-1, at least we know where that would be. We had that one beautiful night in October.
That'd be the best footnote of a season. The Blazers ruined the best history that could have happened. Fantastic. Okay, Biz, we're like kind of pushing up against our time here, so we're gonna jump over into our favorite game. It's now becoming a game. At first, it was going to be a talk segment. Now it's just going to be a game. It's Let's Get Weird. And it has now evolved into rapid fire questions where I put you on the spot. You need to answer as quickly as possible. Tyson, last week, broke this rule. Every single answer and stalled and thought. And I don't need a thoughtful answer. I need your gut. Okay. So those are your rules. We want to keep it quick. I said last week 1 minute. It's probably going to go a little longer, but we're going to try to quickly get through 15 Let's Get Weird questions. Okay, you ready? Okay, let's get weird. If your phone sent one notification that perfectly summed up your life, what would it say? Gotta go.
You need sleep.
Okay, perfect. That segues perfectly. You wake up, and suddenly everybody can hear your internal monologue. What's the first thought?
You need sleep. No. My first thought. Oh, God. I'd have to clear my mind.
Okay, so you're trying to get your bearings. Got it. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
What's a completely normal thing that instantly gives you the ick?
Paper napkins.
If you had to replace your hands with kitchen utensils, what are you picking?
Ooh.
This should be like really close to your heart. Chef's knife?
Yeah, chef's knife. Yeah. You can do a lot with the chef's knife. Or spoon. I can cut with a spoon.
Okay. Great. You get a lifetime supply of one item you're mildly embarrassed to buy. What is it?
Mashed potatoes and gravy.
Okay, your autobiography title is the last thing you Googled. What is it?
Ooh. Uh-oh. The last thing I Googled was, well, Jalen Johnson, but I don't think that should be the name of my autobiography.
Jalen Johnson, a nod to Dan Bay.
Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. Jalen Johnson's the name of my autobiography.
What is your most unhinged but ultimately harmless opinion?
Oh, man. I was just talking about this the other day. Unhinged but harmless. Oh,
tick.
That old people should have to go for their driver's tests.
Every year.
It's not unhinged, but I'm very adamant about that. Yes.
I think we can get behind that. Okay, so you can summon one animal anytime, like a Pokemon, but it's only for emotional support, not combat. What's that animal?
I'd say like one of those little red pandas, or like a fox, like a little snow fox. Just like curl up in my lap.
If your sleep paralysis demon had a catchphrase, what would it be?
Oh, man. Just one more deep dive.
Okay, you have to replace your laugh with a sound effect from a movie or a video game. What is your laugh?
My laugh. Yeah, the Mario one. That's good. Yep.
What's the pettiest
That's a great one,
reason-
actually. If I laugh like the Mario, oh, that's awesome. Okay.
What's the pettiest reason you've... Or wait, let me rephrase this. What would be the pettiest reason you'd absolutely leave a group chat over?
I don't know about the pettiest, but I guess this is petty. If somebody is just chatting too much, like if I'm just getting a barrage of texts and you could summarize it into a paragraph, but instead you send 8 to 10 one-liners, and then I have to just deal with all those notifications, I'm gonna leave the chat.
Agreed.
Okay.
If you could make one mundane life task play epic theme music, which task gets that soundtrack?
Ooh. I mean, just because I'm a chef, like cutting vegetables and like sauteing vegetables and like slow motion dramatic music, a la Bear, something like that.
Okay, last one. Here we go. We got weird. We're gonna go out with a bang here. You're suddenly famous, but for the dumbest possible thing you're actually capable of. What are you famous for?
That I pulled like a really, really expensive 1-of-1 baseball card.
Yeah, this sounds real, and I think I almost saw it the other day.
Almost.
Let's get weird.
That's fun.
We got weird.
I love it. Can I do you next week?
Yeah. I'm slowly starting to participate, and so now I'm realizing that I just want to be asked these questions.
Yeah. No, you need to be the victim of the barrage.
Yeah, okay, maybe next week or next time you're on, I'll let you drive.
Okay.
You get the keys.
Perfect.
To the weird mobile.
Do we have time for just a quick weird? I can do it in like 30 seconds here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. So GameStop announced that they will be having a trade-in anything day for store credit. And it begs the question, how weird can we get with our trade-ins? They said the rules are no hazardous waste material, chemicals, liquids, lithium-ion batteries, weapons or ammo, dead or alive animals, legal or illegal alcohol, tobacco, drugs, or pharmaceuticals, computers, machines like document scanners, small electronic equipment, VCRs, gift cards, sexual and explicit items, and anything resembling body parts. And I'm curious what you think that means.
That sounds like everything. Did they just hedge themselves out of everything? Like,
that's what I'm wondering. What are they accepting?
Definitely wrote that.
Yes, and put the body part thing in at the end because we're definitely gonna get some arms and legs.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
What?
We can't accept that legally.
Yeah. So
that's
I'm looking forward to that.
insane.
We gotta just we'll get our little collection together. As you said, it has to be able to fit in a 20 by 20 by 20 box. And then it's at the discretion of the GameStop employee how much credit you're going to get in the store.
Interesting. So what if you have a homie working at GameStop? You getting a huge hookup?
Yeah.
On the company?
Maybe. Yeah. We need to make friends with GameStop employees.
I don't think I have anything good to trade in. I don't know. I just traded not all my sneakers, but a big part of my sneakers to the card shop to then, kind of reinvest back into cards. So that was my trade in.
Are you collecting cards now?
Not actively, but I do like to go down to the store and see what they got. So we cracked a box of college football cards last Friday.
Oh yeah. Those are fun.
It was a good time.
Yeah.
We struck out hard. It was depressing. We went back to Devin and showed him the haul because we're trying to figure out their worth and anything. He's like, this is the worst box we've had.
Oh man,
that is the worst.
I ripped enough boxes. I'd probably have a little competition for you there, but I mean that's the problem with the hobby. And this is a good segue. I'm gonna have a recurring segment upcoming called Danny's Deep Dive, where I'm gonna research an obscure topic, and on my subject list is the state of the trading card hobby right now, because it's sad. I mean, entry level, if you're a kid, I mean that's when I fell in love with collecting cards, was when I was a kid, and I got back into it 5 years ago. But I mean, a hobby box is between $400 and $1,000 now. It's like you're either going to break the kid's parents, or you're not catering to. I guess there's my rant of something that I'm unreasonably upset about. That's what the fun is collecting sets when you're a kid, and it's gotten crazy. Yeah.
I'm not going to be in that world buying up everything, but it's fun when your friend owns a shop and you can kind of just go and drop into his world momentarily and be like, tell me stuff.
Yeah.
I just want to see what's hot, and then occasionally I'll probably break down and buy something.
Yeah. Well, do it with me.
Maybe one day we'll do a box opening on.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Let's do that. That'd be great.
There might be content out there. That might be content to be mined. Okay, we gotta wrap up. It is Lizzie's birthday, my wife's birthday. Happy birthday, Lizzie.
Happy birthday, Lizzie.
Straight from the pod to Lizzie's ears. That's gonna be it's big for her. Thanks.
Are you gonna play this? Yeah, are you gonna play this for her at dinner? She'd love it.
If there were a world in which I could get this edited in that fast, then yeah, absolutely. But it's going to be a doozy. Thanks again, Biz. This is fun. We got good updates on the Blazers. We're just continuing to get better and better, and we're keeping the people informed about the Portland Trail Blazers only we can. All right, my man. Thank you.
Thanks, Eric.
Laters.